Yeah, you can move it up, down. You see, it's like a whole arm. Think of whatever your arm can do. That arm.
But I don't need it to go like that.
No, that's weird. You could here. Why don't you like see how I did it? Where I bent it down and then move that up. Look at that. Look at that.
Hello.
Pro.
It's me.
WBBI 101.974. This is the Ky Cravens Show in the afternoon here. Beautiful day. We have Ian Whitt with us today. Valued guest. He's helped us out during the pilot, getting us onto the network. We have signed an exclusive deal with YouTube. Very excited about that. Very excited to announce that. I didn't think we'd get picked up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, they must not have done their research.
No, but they said that we're hitting all demographics, we're hitting all metrics.
Yeah. What are the metrics?
Well, there's, first of all, the sound of our voices is a huge metric.
That's a metric.
It has to be soothing. Metrics are just points.
So the sound of my voice is a metric.
Think of metrics as dots on a graph.
Okay.
You have your dots, and then 2 dots is a line. So we're just making dimensions.
Well, 2 dots is not a line. It's 2 dots.
Isn't okay? A line is
connects 2 dots.
A line is a one-dimensional.
But I don't want us to start thinking that the dots are lines.
2 dots alone drifting through space. They want to be a line. They beg to be a line. That almost is. You almost do that with your eyes. You almost make a line. You see 2 dots.
Almost.
It's almost a.
Yeah,
what
almost.
do they call that? What do they call that? An eye trick.
Optical illusion.
An optical illusion. And I love Don't you love optical illusions?
Yeah.
What's your favorite kind of optical illusion?
I like the old lady who looks like a pretty lady.
I like the Taylor Swift shirt with the stripes.
I don't know that one.
You don't remember that?
I just know like books of optical illusions.
Okay. Old lady that looks like a young lady?
Yeah, and depending on if you're an asshole or not, you'll see her as an old lady or a young lady.
Oh, it's a personality test as well as an optical illusion? Well, that's interesting because the eyes are the gateway to the soul, are they not?
If we have one.
Mm-hmm. Right. If we had a soul. Good point.
If we have a soul. I'm not saying we don't. If we had a soul,
the eyes are the gateway to that.
Oh, for sure.
Proverbial soul.
Either that or the belly button.
True. But then what does that mean if you have an outie?
If you can't say something nice, you shouldn't say anything at all.
Okay.
No offense to people.
I believe that I grew up with an outie.
Yeah, you strike me as an outie kind of a guy.
Well, have I told you about this before?
Your outie?
No, that I thought. Well, it's not even that I thought that I did have an outie. I did have an outie. I'll say it. I'll say it, folks. Here in front of the eyes of the world and of gods.
I have a business idea.
Hold on. Don't jump ahead in the show.
I'm just telling you.
He's going to the next segment.
That I have a business idea.
He shouldn't go to the next segment.
And it has to do with outies.
Okay, hold on. Now it's an innie.
That happens.
Completely. Oh, that happens.
Yeah, that's very common.
Does that have to do with the umbilical cord?
Yeah.
Was my umbilical cord not snipped correctly?
Yeah.
Because I had I had like a dangle cord that I had to get removed when I was 8.
It's kind of chicken to the egg. It's like it's either your fault or the doctor's fault.
Mm. No, I had part of the cord still on me until I was 8 years old. My mother never really looked at me without a shirt on or unwrapped. She always had me wrapped up. That's why when I sleep, I love to really cocoon myself into a chrysalis. But I'm not a butterfly yet. But
you might never be. Most caterpillars never become butterflies.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And why is that? Are you an entomologist?
It's a cruel world.
Is that entomology?
It's a very cruel world.
Do we have a red dot over here? Is it recording? I'm not sure. We're getting all this.
I don't see color.
Okay. Well, you're a big help. Entomology. is the study of bugs and insects.
Aren't Entenmann's a kind of cookie?
Yes, they are. But that company started off as a as an insect research facility.
No one's gonna believe that.
No. That's the hard truth of it. Entenmann's.
So it is bug food. It's like
No. It's not. Like, I don't want to put that out there because Entenmann's is a valued, great American company, and they've probably killed people with their fattening treats.
we're killing people right now.
We are?
Yeah.
How? Well, we're killing their boredom.
Think about who like these plastic microphones and things that we're using. Like people died to build these.
True.
Think of all the human life.
Well, think of the pyramids. Think of the Great Wall. Think of the
Washington pyramids.
The Washington Monument.
The pyramids are so old that we don't know who made them.
Okay. Do you think that it was aliens? Now we go straight into Joe Rogan mode right here.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, do you think aliens built the pyramids? Look.
Tell me the hard facts.
I'm not convinced that physical aliens...
Well, here, I want to preface this with this, that I didn't properly introduce you. You did study history. You worked at a museum for a while, and you do know these things to an extent.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to preface that, because he's not just talking out of his ass. We have no hot air on this show. We're both here for a reason, and that reason is to enlighten, to entertain, and to enliven. Not bad. But go ahead. So you in your expertise,
I don't see how a spaceship can fly between galaxies.
right?
So aliens, in the sense that like it's like the 4th of July, or that movie Independence Day where the aliens come by in a mothership. I'm very suspicious of that. But we are all under the influence of other stuff.
Okay, how does that connect at all to the? So first of all, the way that I understood it is that because that one night we were out in, I believe, NoHo, you really broke this down to me that you have to fold space in order to go through it.
Okay,
if you had a piece of paper
and you had an insect walking across the line, and you draw the ends of the string together.
Yeah. That old canard.
Yeah, I mean, it's, I guess, an interesting visual. I don't find it particularly useful.
Right. So, but you said you don't believe at all in that, in a spaceship going to other galaxies. So what you're really saying is you don't believe in warp drive.
I believe
the ability to fold the space time.
It's a little bit convenient.
Or fold. I guess it's just fold space.
Now that we have this technology to do crazy shit.
What technology?
What do you mean, what technology?
We don't have the technology to fold.
We have technology for
space.
People to like zoom around in the, like, we can do really cool stuff with technology. And I find it interesting and a little suspicious that we're like, oh my god, there's aliens. Now that like we could make a drone. Like all the UFO stuff, I think is very.
No, I've never once doubted that we don't have other beings out there, and it's so ridiculous to me to think otherwise, right?
That there's nothing.
Let me tell you this: I actually was in near Mesa, Arizona, which is right by Phoenix. This is a great story.
Yes.
I don't think I told you this. Because, folks, me and Ian here have swapped so many stories that it's hard to remember what I've told him or not. But I know I haven't told you this. I was standing in the middle of the desert. I was waiting for, I think somebody was going to pick me up. I was out kind of just doing a little vision quest of my own. And all of a sudden, a spaceship lands, and this is like 3 years ago. So I know I wasn't imagining it as a child, right? This is still fresh, etched into my brain.
No, you told me this story.
No, I haven't.
Yes, you did.
Okay, well, let me tell it for the viewers then. The spaceship lands, and out walks a 1-inch man. And I go,
how far away was it?
No, and I go, are you 1 inch tall? And he goes, no, I'm just really far away.
Well, I was about to be like, how far away was this guy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got you got to the core of it. But what's your business idea? Your business idea for Audis?
Oh,
Belly button Audis.
Buy defective Audis.
Audis?
Audis, like the car.
And okay.
And sell them as Audis.
That's the whole idea.
That's the whole idea.
That's okay.
Like, you go to the factory and you're like, all right, I know it's like cabbages. It's like once in a while they poop out a bad cabbage. You buy it.
Mm-hmm. Keep going.
And you sell it as an Audi.
Mm. That's interesting.
Yeah, you tell me something.
No, I mean, I think it's an okay idea. It's something that I think maybe we can have our people look into, but it's kind of stupid at the same time. I'm gonna be honest with you. You've had much, much better ideas.
Yeah. Last night I had a dream that I was Grimace.
You were Grimace?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what do you mean?
You know who Grimace is.
From McDonald's.
Yeah, is he purple or whatever?
Yeah, he's the big purple.
Yeah.
He looks like a big thumb.
Yeah. And I don't really dream of myself often as like something else.
Mm-hmm.
But I was at Arby's working.
You were Grimace from McDonald's, but you worked at Arby's?
Well, when it makes sense, because I'm from the kind of place where people go to Arby's. You probably are too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think there's a single Arby's in New York.
I think combined, me and you have...
Worked at every...
Well, no, just lived everywhere. And we've settled here now in New York City, but between the both of us, I think we must have lived in all 50 states. Besides Alaska. There are a few states that I have not been in. I think I could count on one hand the amount of states that I haven't been to.
What were they?
Or lived in. Well, I haven't lived in Alaska. And that is something that I'm warming up to.
Mm-hmm.
Which is ironic because it's so cold. This is cozy. And then I have yet to live in... I haven't lived like in Nevada, like in the middle of the desert. I lived in Arizona for a while.
Have you lived like in New York State?
Yeah. Yeah, I lived in Rochester for like half a year. Mm-hmm.
While you were studying it?
No, just I got a job.
Kodak?
No, that was that.
Xerox?
No, you're thinking of other shit.
At Wegmans?
Oh, I haven't lived in Maine. That's hard to get to.
Oh, well, you have to be careful in Maine.
I've been to Maine, but
yeah.
I haven't lived there.
There's some big moose.
Big moose and a lot of whales up there. Good whale country.
Mm-hmm. The moose and the whales have an old alliance.
Mm. Much older than me or you.
Much older than me or you.
But tell me about this dream. So you in your dream, you looked in the mirror.
No.
And you saw yourself as Grimace?
No, I just knew that I was Grimace.
What made you bring this up to me? What's going on?
You asked me what ideas I have. You were like, you got some crazy ideas.
But Grimace is like a fat blob.
Yeah.
Is that how you dream of yourself?
No, but it's what I want to be. It's what I aspire to be. Mm-hmm. Like my New Year's resolution this year is for someone to look at me, like someone who's nice, who's like my friend, to come up to me and be like, "Wow, Ian, you really let yourself go."
Oh, that's your New Year's. That's kind of an inverse of most people's.
Yeah, like someone who's really kind and wouldn't normally say something like that.
Yeah. No, I think that's a good point. I think that is a good resolution because it makes people be real.
It's a tangible
goal. Be
goal.
Honest. No, that's a goal because you're helping the world. The moment where people say, "Hey, you look kind of like what happened to you, dude?" That's how you know they care about you. Mm-hmm. That's a good sign of someone who's going to be
and how you know you've made
not
an
a me
impact.
guy, but an amigo.
Amigot.
Sure. Or a me girl, not an amiga.
A me girl?
Or a me they, not a me, an amida.
Amisa.
Amisa. How does Spanish do with the whole, because they're so pronoun heavy, they need to get out of the pronoun. They need to buff
somebody was like mad about gendered language, and I was like, you realize like all of our language is gendered.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but I thought of Spanish. I think of Spanish a lot, how everything has a gender, right? Objects do.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's necessarily true with English. Words just have meaning to an extent, but they do put like a gender ending to words in Spanish, right?
Thinking systems and language and categorizations always have to do with hierarchy, because it examines the relationship between two things. Otherwise, you wouldn't have words at all. And anyone who is trying desperately to create like a classless society where everybody's equal and nobody's anything is going to have a hard time reconciling that with any language system.
Yeah, I think that's true. But going back to your dream, do you think that dreams are
like a
window into maybe the future?
Your soul.
Or,
so the eyes are a window to the soul. The dreams are the window to the future.
Well, what do you think? Do you think dreams are mystic?
I think dreams are very
or telling of maybe your state of well-being, or maybe the future.
My greatest regret is that I have not yet done lucid dreaming.
Oh, you should try it. When I lived in Kentucky, I was really big into.
You can't do it in New York. You just can't do it.
It's hard in New York City.
Yeah, you can't do.
Yeah, we have to always be specific about that. People just think we're living
in fucking Poughkeepsie.
Who lives in New York anyway? State.
Who lives in New York State?
No one.
Very decent people.
A lot of commuters.
New York State is huge.
I know, it's massive. Too big for its own good. Too big to fail.
I believe that
do you think there's?
I want to run as
there's things that are too big to fail.
I want to run as a politician. No,
you don't.
I want to. I do. I don't want to win, but I believe the best way to get your views out there is to run for office, because then people think you're serious. And I want to run on separating upstate from New York City, and upstate New York is just going to be called upstate.
Well, there's a very similar movement in Illinois
to get Chicago out of there. But isn't Chicago like kind of landlocked?
No, like Michigan.
Oh yeah.
A lot of people think that, and this is how I know when I go on a date with somebody, which I do every night. And they say that Chicago is a state. I've never been to that state. Oh, you're from Chicago. I've never been to that state. That's a red flag. That's a massive red flag, because I value geography. I put a lot of effort into knowing where I am, north, south, east, west. When I first moved to New York City, I wandered around for months, getting a lay of the land, knowing the highs from the lows.
Yeah, people don't even know what Tribeca stands for.
Well, it's important. No, people don't even know what Soho stands for.
People don't even know what NYC stands for.
They don't. There are a lot of dumb people.
They think that
geographically
they
speaking,
think that we're the U.S. because it's us.
I think there's a lot more smart people than dumb people in the world, except for geography. I think not a lot of people put value in geography like I do, and I don't know why that's in me. Maybe it's a curse. Maybe there's something wrong with me.
Did you have to do?
I always think, is it wrong with me first, right?
Well, you're not supposed to know where you are. The government doesn't want you to know where you are, because then you'll know how to get out.
You're not supposed to know where you are. That's the thing with me. I always know where I am.
Yeah.
Like when when I'm hammered, which I am every night, and I walk out of a club.
Yeah.
In the middle of the city, and I'm almost in a catatonic state. I know where I am. I still know. Oh, I'm on this street. Okay, how do I get back to the train? how do I, it's a little dance in my head, but I still kind of have an idea. Oh, I'm in this neighborhood. Okay, this means this. Maybe I should just get an Uber or something.
Yeah, I've always gotten home.
But there are so many people that I meet in the city that just, they're just wandering around. Oh, where am I? They're just bumping into stuff. And it's like no way to live.
Are you sure they're not homeless?
No, I think homeless people know more than most of these people.
But they also...
In terms of the streets.
But they also don't have anywhere to go, so it gives the appearance of...
Yes. I just hate people when they don't know where like Central Park is.
It's in the center.
It's in the name, but it's also... I don't know. And you get to a point where like some people don't know that like... Georgia's south, or like or
that Michigan's in the north.
Where states are, I'm gonna take a road trip. Like I was talking to somebody, I'm gonna take a road trip to where was that? To Florida. I was just gonna go down the coast, and they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, are you gonna pass through like Delaware?" I'm like, no. I almost literally, I don't know what to say to these people.
I don't even want I took my 50 states quarter collection, and I took Delaware and threw it right in the garbage.
Oh, that's not nice. But I think geography is something that we need to teach more.
You don't even want to go to Delaware. Oh, that's not nice. I got rid of the quarter. You're like, wow, dick move. I've never heard something more.
No, that's not very nice to Delaware at all.
You don't even want to go there.
No, I've been there, though. I've been there, done that.
I've been to Delaware.
You can only... Delaware, is a week tops. You've seen it all in Delaware. You don't want to overstay your welcome in some places.
What about Rhode Island?
That's like 3 days, tops. That's all you need in Rhode Island.
It's literally an island with a road on it.
Mm-hmm. And people never used to show up when it was just ROAD. And then they changed it. They tried to make it a pun.
Well, here's the stupid thing.
They changed it to RH.
They put this big road in the middle of this island.
What were they thinking?
And it's like, how are you going to drive to it?
Yeah.
It's an island.
And back then it was horse and buggy when they made it.
Yeah.
And it was the first pavement road.
Well, they knew that cars were coming. They knew that they were going to get cars.
Someone kind of got word of that. Someone on the construction team got word of that, and they were thinking, oh, okay, if there's going to be a machine that has wheels like that, we need stronger. We can't just use dirt paths anymore. We can't use...
Yeah, and so they had
roads.
the idea, we're going to unite our whole state by having one road.
Right.
From top to bottom.
And that's the problem. They started on an island. What were they thinking?
The cars couldn't... They couldn't get there. They couldn't get to the island.
Oh, God. That's crazy.
And that's why, when's the last time you heard someone was from Rhode Island? They can't get here.
Yeah.
There's no way off the island.
Right.
The road goes straight into the sea.
Yeah. That would be... I used to think as a kid, oh, wow, when are we going to connect, the U.S. to Europe, Africa?
Like build the Great Bridge.
Like not even a bridge. It would be, you do go down. You drive down, and it's a clear tube.
So you can see the fish.
And you can see the fish. And it's, I feel like there's a movie that kind of has a similar setup.
You know what would be so scary, though, is if you built it and you looked over and there was a great blue whale coming right for you. That'd be awesome. But it just, rams straight into the tunnel and everybody dies.
There's so many things that can go wrong with that.
Yeah.
With that concept.
I always know something bad is going to happen when I go on those underwater trains.
Oh, the channels.
The channels?
The channel.
Channel. It's an underwater tunnel. It's a channel.
It's a...
Like a channel?
It's a channel.
Like the English Channel tunnel.
To France, yeah.
Yeah. So
why were you a McDonald's character in your dream, Grimace, working at Arby's?
He was always my favorite.
What does that mean to you? What is a McDonald's character doing at Arby's?
Well, here's the thing.
Because here's the thing. I'm trying to dig into your dreams a little bit. Let's dig in.
Well, McDonald's is the more liberal of the two.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Arby's is a fast food chain for conservatives. And so, to me, that's the biggest indicator of what... I don't believe that I was Grimace. Like, I'm obviously not Grimace. I don't know anything about Grimace. I believe that I was remote viewing through Grimace's experience. Kind of like spying. And,
Right. So that's interesting. So you
it was like I possessed him.
You are like almost like a Game of Thrones. Have you seen that show?
Oh yeah.
You're like warging.
Yeah.
Into Grimace, into a non-existent character.
Well, interesting thing about Game of Thrones is there's a lot of male nudity on the show.
Yes. No. This is no. I think that most people have only seen those scenes.
I always want to see if an actor's carpet matches their drapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because a lot of actors dye their hair. And I've always been interested in...
Dye? What do you mean? What are you saying?
I'm saying that a lot of actors dye their hair, and so you can tell if an actor's, carpet doesn't match their drapes. That means that they're dyeing it. Especially redheads, and there were a lot of redheads in Game of Thrones.
You are an actor.
Yep.
How does this apply to you? Do you dye your hair?
No, I don't dye my hair, but I do have different shades of hair on different parts of my body.
Okay. Such as?
Like for instance, my arm hair is a little bit more blonde than my hair up here, and all over different parts of my body, it's different hair.
What about your drapes?
Well, these are the drapes.
Oh, what about your carpet? My bad. Yeah, I see your drapes.
Yeah, different color. Different color.
Really? What color?
Well, that's...
How different?
Very different. Just tremendously different. Couldn't be more different. Some areas are darker than others. Some areas are lighter.
Well, I've been obsessed with the zoo since I was a kid. And I know pretty much everything there is to know about animals and zoology.
Do animals have different, hair regularities?
They do. A lot of animals will have different colored hair. Their ass hair.
Well, those baboons
will be different than their pubic hair.
Are the blue-butted baboons, is that hair or skin?
That is skin. And but they do have hair in there. You just have to really look in. You have to really dig into that.
That seems like a bad place to not have hair.
And that's actually how you check if a baboon is healthy and mature. Is you have
how blue?
No. How actually dark their hair is inside their butt.
So you have to
It sounds.
You have to pry their butt cheeks apart.
Because it's tight. You've seen.
I'm not a fan. Butt. You know what I really don't like?
You've seen a baboon's butt. It's like a cinch. It's like a clamp.
You know what I really don't care for? You have to take
it almost like a wrench, and this is something you only have to do once.
I don't even want to think about it. I don't like animals' butts. I don't like...
Why?
Because you know what it is? People treat their dogs like garbage disposals. And don't give them enough exercise, and dogs are really unhealthy, especially in the city. And so dogs fart. It's nasty.
Yeah, I know.
City dogs are not... I rarely have seen a healthy city dog that doesn't stink up the room.
Well, what do you want them to do? I mean, they have to fart. Every mammal.
Not like this. Not like this.
Do you get grossed out by people's butts? Human butts?
Humans tend to take care of themselves better than their dogs.
Well, I think about dogs a lot. They're not in the zoo yet. Hopefully one day.
There's probably a dog zoo somewhere.
Because I study only zoo animals.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know a lot about dogs.
Mm-hmm.
Yet. Once they get into the zoo, we can get going on that. But the thing about dogs is that we have controlled all dogs. So there's no wild dogs, right?
I mean, there's dogs that are...
They're a totally domesticated thing. So how are they controlling how many dogs are getting born? How many... You know what I mean?
They don't.
What if people stop buying dogs? What happens to all these dogs?
They get let loose in the
countryside. Where are all these dogs? Where do people get dogs?
There's breeders.
I know, these breeders, though. It's insane to me to think that somebody lives... So there's this breeder. He lives with hundreds of pugs. And then he's just waiting for someone to buy a pug? Or does he wait until somebody wants a pug and then breeds it?
No, he's breeding it all the time.
So how many pugs does this breeder have? Or any dog? And he's making new kinds of dogs. He's always,
Oh, yeah, they create new dogs. They create entirely new genetic creatures. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's really easy to... It's really... You just take any two animals and you put them together.
Yeah. I feel like dogs they miss home sometimes. They miss their breeders.
Yeah.
And we're stripping them away from their breeders. Does anybody think about that? Everyone always thinks about, you're being taken from your home. You're going to a new home. This is going to be where you want to be. These breeders probably have the land. They probably have a lot more space than these city dogs have to run around and not fart all the fucking time.
Or if you fart, you're outside.
Yeah. I mean, where do these breeders live? They live in the country, right?
Yeah.
And then do they sell to these pet places?
Mm-hmm.
Because I miss home. I miss the city. I live in New Jersey because I'm legally not allowed to permanently reside in New York City.
Wow.
Did you know that?
I had a suspicion about it because I figured, you seem like the kind of guy who has the means to live in New York if you wanted to.
I never wanted to live here in New Jersey, but I got kicked out of New York City.
Wow.
I legitimately cannot live there. I can visit. I mean, I really do live there. I sleep there. I eat there. I work there.
Wait, you sleep there?
Yeah, but I can't live there.
You can't have that be your address.
No, and that's the issue, is that I made an enemy, and don't ever do this. This is a lesson. Learn from me, please. If there's one thing you people learn today,
it's from me.
Let it be from me. And let it be this. Do not make an enemy of the post office.
But the post office is for the whole United States.
It is, and that's why, to be on their bad side, there's nowhere I can go now where I'm not suspect.
What about... But you're here in New Jersey.
Yes, this is where they throw bad people that live in...
So it's the worst state?
It's not the worst. It's almost a dumpster for New York City. It's still better than most places.
That's true. I wouldn't say it's a dumpster for New York City. But it's like, you didn't become a millionaire.
When I crossed the postman,
you walked by him.
No. I mean, that's a whole story there, and it's we started dating, and then
was he one of those hot post?
He was
that hot UPS guy with the shorts. And...
I thought he was just wearing boxers when I met him, but those were his uniform pants. They're
a bunch of whores.
They were so high up that I saw everything. I saw a full sack.
Of letters?
No, not of letters. He did have a full sack of letters, but also a full sack, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do.
And his name was Jack. So I used to call him Jack the Sack.
Mm-hmm.
And he would sleep over a lot at my place. As people do.
Well, his last name was... I think you told me this. It wasn't his last name. Offerman?
Yeah, Offerman.
But he pronounces it Offerman.
Is like a joke, yeah.
Well, he's from
really
New York, so
joke.
he's like Offerman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. He had a really thick New York
Off
accent.
a man.
I don't know what. Yeah,
he'd say off a man.
Yeah, he had a really, really thick New York accent. Really thick.
So his name was.
But it was
Jack.
His family's from Minnesota. It's Offerman.
Jack off a man.
Off a man. Yeah. Jack off a man. Yeah, and it's like. That was a red flag to me because...
His name?
He sounded like a cartoon character. But he was really sweet and gentle. And he would spend the night a lot, and I enjoyed that. You know, he would wrap me up. And... but the thing of it is that his sack was right there. Yeah. Always right there next to the bed.
The letters.
Full of letters. Full of...
that he wasn't delivering because of you.
Little secrets, little...
Letters to Santa Claus and...
and I would dig in. I would dig into that. I would dip my hand into that sack. I'd call it a daily dip. And I would dip right down, and I would dip down and dip.
Did Jack know?
And I dip deep, too. I tried to go to the bottom of the sack so that, because the ones at the top were the ones that he had to deliver first the next day.
So he
was very well organized in the sack.
Mm-hmm.
And when I was in his sack, I learned so much about
like addresses and...
about little things, about big things. I learned that my neighbor was cheating on her test.
Wow.
Well, she was trying to get into NASA. So we don't want people that go into NASA as cheaters.
Okay. So
it's rigorous.
Did you get her in trouble?
But my other neighbor was cheating on her boyfriend.
All these women are cheating.
Mm-hmm.
Did you find that most of the men's letters were like straight shooters and forthright?
No. Terrible grammar, terrible handwriting. A lot of handwriting.
Honesty. In terms of are they up to no good like the women?
The men, it's been a few years
because they're all getting cheated on. I guess
escapade has happened, but no, the men. It was sports. Did you see the game last night? Mm-hmm. They would write that in the letter, and all that stuff would go down. And sometimes they'd talk about like, hey, we should do a boys trip. We should get the boys together. I saw a lot of like boys trip planning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
And it was fun because sometimes I think, should I invite myself? Should I
go? Because you know that it's happening.
A lot of Vegas, a lot of Atlantic City.
And you probably could have.
I probably could have, but I can't. I can't.
You don't like inviting yourself?
Not anymore.
If there's one thing I know about you, it's that you would never, ever try to invite yourself to a party.
Mm-hmm. No, and I am booked now. I can't anymore because I'm joining the Log Cabin Republicans.
Oh.
So that has been taking up a lot of my time.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah, I know who the Log Cabin Republicans are. I'm a little surprised.
This has been a big deal for me. It's something that I had to consult a lot of people on, and I just think I'm ready. I think I can make a big impact in their goals and in their mission. For those of you who don't know Log Cabin, maybe you can explain it.
Oh,
I'm an initiate, so you have no affiliation.
I've met some.
Well, now you know another. But I'm what they call a cadet.
Yeah.
So I have to I'm the one who has to go, find the firewood.
Yeah.
And build the log cabins.
Well, the log cabin thing is a reference to Abe Lincoln.
Yes.
Born in a log cabin, and he's the Republican. But there were many rumors that he was,
right.
And
I can tell you,
Mary Todd wasn't crazy for no reason.
The text that I've read has pointed to. First of all, Mary Todd was a man. Let's get that.
And that's why Mary was so crazy.
Mary Todd, his name, they flipped it. And it's a great cover up. It is a great cover. his birth certificate and the log cabin Republicans.
He was Mary Todd?
Todd Mary.
Oh.
The last name was Mary.
Oh.
So it was an easy swap for Abe. He was honest and wise. He wasn't lying. He just switched the name.
So Todd Mary was his original name?
Born Todd Mary. And the log cabin Republicans actually do have that original birth certificate. And this is how they based everything that we do off of, has been kind of going back to Todd Mary and that whole history that's so under wraps.
Who got you into the log cabin Republicans?
It was Jeff. From he was in that production of Shrek. Mm-hmm. He was Papa Shrek. Mm-hmm. And he's like all into it, and he really turned me on to it.
I mean, I knew he was your friend.
Well, he turned me on first, and then he turned me on.
Well, he's got that really nice house on Fire Island that you probably want to stay in, so I would imagine that this will give you a pass for the summer.
Well, can I tell you what has been going on with me lately? Like, that's been really hard for me to get into the log cabin. They call it getting into the cabin.
Yeah.
I have to divorce all women in order to get into the log cabin Republicans.
So you have to marry all of them and then divorce them.
Well, I've been seeing this woman. Her name is not important, but she is 42.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Yeah, and I love the wisdom and age. She was wrong about... She told me not to join the log cabin Republicans, but that was her bad. That was the first time where I said, maybe this isn't going to work out. And now it's been hard for me to tell someone that's so much my elder, no.
Yeah, she's like 28 years older than you.
Yeah. Minimum.
You don't think she's really 42?
No, I think she's at least 35.
You think that she's lying about her age, though? Why would she want herself to be older?
What?
Why would she tell you she was 42 if she was only 35?
Well, I think that in her case, she looks much, much older than she is.
Uh-huh. So she didn't say 42, you just assumed she was because you were like,
she
God, she's hideous?
She's been trying this new thing where she's honest. And she is 42, but she looks like she's 62. Mm-hmm. You know, she's a smoker. And I'm into that. I'm into that whole older woman.
Coughing.
But this is the thing about the log cabin is that a lot of people are my age, which is good.
Yeah, lots of young men are becoming radicalized.
Yeah, so...
But the log cabin Republicans...
But I'm going to miss her.
They just want to go to Fire Island and...
Yeah, Fire Island, yeah, but... I'm going to miss her. It is kind of like the rhino situation again for me, I feel like. Oh, the rhino situation. Like, me... Back during my zoo days, when I used to go to the zoo all the time and study up, we were talking about how much I love the zoo. I was attacked.
Oh, by that rhino.
Yeah, but
I remember that.
But
you had to quit the zoo soon after that.
I was attacked in such a way that I fell in love.
With the rhino?
Yeah.
Well, you know something?
I don't want to. I
never understood.
I don't want this to be on the.
I don't know why, because I knew that you lost your job.
Video.
I knew that you lost your job at the zoo, but it didn't make sense why you getting attacked would make you lose your job. There had to have been something else that happened. So, like, you fell in love. What does that mean?
Here's the thing. I wouldn't expect someone who's not a master of zoology to not know this, but when before a rhino charges. He normally evacuates himself. And a rhino can shoot his shit almost 100 yards of a football field.
Are you talking about shit?
Shit.
Okay.
A rhino can shoot rhinos can shoot their shit at a high velocity and with so much pressure coming out of the butthole that it can,
propels them forward.
Yes, but the shit can go
like a football field.
Exactly, and this is true. And they can do the same thing with urine, I believe, to an extent. But there's been a lot of cases, close calls in zoos where a rhino's turned around, mother daughter. Look, mommy, the rhino. Start running, because once that tail lifts up,
you're not even afraid of the rhino charging at you. No. You're afraid that the rhino's going to charge at something in the opposite direction as you.
Right, in that case, but in my case,
yeah,
it was toward me, and it was at such a speed and such an impact. It evacuated itself, and almost on the wings of Icarus, flew to me, and it was such an impact that it really knocked me. It jerked me into new life.
I can tell that this was a really positive experience for you.
It was such a positive. You ever had a wake up call? You know what I mean in life? Have you ever had?
Yeah, I stayed at this hotel. And they called me in the morning and were like, "Sir, you've got
your hash browns
at 6 a.m." So yeah, I had a wake up call once.
Yeah,
not like from an animal, but
this animal is a rhino, and I do have some sort of. Oh God,
I'm sorry, bro.
What?
I'm sorry.
Sorry about what?
I'm sorry.
I'm saying I did do things with the rhino.
I'm sorry, bro.
About?
Just wait.
Okay, got all the time in the world.
You'll smell it.
Oh. Dude.
No way. Yeah, I had a...
Because we were talking about rhino shit?
No, it's because I got a... Do you remember when I sent you that text message with the Reese's?
Dude.
Do you remember when I sent you a text message with me and the Reese's?
I'm crying. Oh my God.
Bro, do you remember the text message?
What did you eat?
Do you remember the text message I sent you with the Reese's?
Yeah.
And the Nutcracker?
Oh. No.
I was like, it's March and they have their Christmas candy out. And you were like, it's from 2021.
Oh. I thought that was a joke.
I thought I would get a discount.
Dude, that is bad.
I thought I would get a discount, and then I didn't get a discount.
Dude, that is bad. This is probably the smelliest.
Should we just end it now?
No.
Should we just end the tape now?
No, I have to say the sponsor for the day. Okay.
Reese's.
No.
CVS.
Right. Thank you guys for watching.
Thanks for watching.
It's like filling the room.
Yeah, thanks for
I feel like I'm in a coffin. Imagine farting in a coffin.
Imagine like being dead and they put you in the coffin, but you haven't fully evacuated yet, and like the shit just seeps out of you, but you're still like wearing that suit, like you're in a suit, and it's just filling up with shit, while your body decomposes and mixes with the shit.
That's gross. Anyway, today's sponsor is Hulk Hogan's teeth whiteners. He's come out with these new strips. Yeah, we're very excited to have him. Not him, his people, right? Directly sponsor us. Last week we had the Nutter Butter, David Nutter's Nutter Butters.
Oh yeah,
the original Nutter flavor.
Yeah, I remember that.
Go to their website, therealnuttertaste.com. But the Hulk Hogan whitening strips are really good. I mean, there's a reason why.
And it works on your skin.
It does. He loves the contrast between his like orange skin and his white teeth. So
yeah,
really give these a try, people. You can use the discount code
Creamsicle. Sauce
on Hogan.gov.
Is that like sauce like you eat or sauce like SOS?
It's like sauce.
Oh.
But do you watch the WWE? Do you get into that whole world?
I know Floyd Mayweather and Khabib and no, it's Mayweather. What is it? Floyd Mayweather?
He wasn't in Floyd the WWE, Mayweather? I don't think.
And Khabib and Someone else. I used to know things I really don't anymore. The last time I paid attention to what was cool was when was like 2017.
Ooh.
That was the last time I paid attention to what was cool.
Uh-huh. That was the last time.
Yeah, I'm still like, wow, XXX Tenacion. Who's been like dead for...
Why?
Why what?
I don't like that year.
2017?
Yeah.
It was a dark year.
No, it was fucked up.
Dark.
Year. For me, it
dark year.
That's the year I lost my virginity.
Wow, but I would think that would be like a beautiful experience for you.
No, it was not. I don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, well you don't have
Especially
to.
in the same episode, we brought up the rhino situation.
And the zoo situation.
It's the same situation.
Yeah, you were a zoologist.
Well, that ended it. Don't you see?
I thought the rhino ended it.
Don't you get that? That ended it?
What ended what?
The rhino died. And I couldn't...
Oh, but well, that year, like, if the rhino died, there's no way, because, you know, it was like that gorilla had died, and that was just like, that got all the press in terms of animals dying.
That was that year?
It might have been...
I was so distracted by...
I think it was 2016.
I was so distracted by my rhino dying.
Yeah, but you also said... A lot of big things happened to you in 2017.
I know, I lost my virginity to a dog.
Oh.
And no, I'm not saying my dog, like my friend.
Like your best friend.
Man's best friend.
Yeah. Was this...
Does that even count, though?
What was the dog's name?
Sammy.
What kind of Sammy is that? Is that like a Sam or is that a Samantha?
Sam.
Okay. And,
I'm so ashamed of myself. God.
Well, did they have a good time?
What about me?
Lots of people...
Would you...
I always see these, like, single men walking their dogs around Manhattan.
Well, I see a lot of single women doing the same thing, and I think I've been there.
I see all these single people, and, like, there'll be this guy who's, like, walking out of the bodega with his dog with, like, a fresh jar of peanut butter he just bought. And I'm like...
That is telling. That is telling.
I don't think that single people should be allowed to have dogs. I think you should have to have a relationship.
More times than not, it is the single people that want a dog. And
yes,
they want a big dog. Sammy was a small, little wiener dog.
Some want small dogs. Some want big dogs. Some want white dogs. Some want black dogs. Mm-hmm. Some want purebred. And some want trailer trash mutts. Mm. And all I can say is, I'm suspicious.
Yeah.
We're watching you, white America.
Yeah. Watch out. We're coming for you.
Because now we got someone on the inside. So how do you spot one of these people?
Well, you identified, I'd say, one of the tell-alls is the peanut butter.
Uh-huh.
Right? So you have leash in one hand, chunky, always chunky, peanut butter in the other. That's a major sign right there. But another sign a lot of people don't know about is taking the dog, right, to the park. If you see someone at the park with a dog...
Like the dog park?
No. Just the human park. If you see someone taking a dog to the human park, they're fucking. Sammy loved the human attractions.
Oh.
More than the dog park.
Well, yeah, because it's like you can tell when a dog knows.
It's really anything to make the dog seem more like a human being. And, you see this a lot now. You see people taking dogs on airplanes. You see people taking dogs on the train. You see people taking dogs to the gym to swim with them. That's if you see someone take their dog to the gym, you need to call the police. Because that is bestiality.
Does that count if it's like a seeing eye dog? Like
no, those are the worst ones.
Yeah, because I know somebody who has like a support dog.
And that's the thing. There are no support. I mean, they do support them.
Yeah.
But not above the neck.
They're supporting them with their tongue.
Below the belt.
Yeah.
And it has to stop. It has to stop. And New York is almost a cesspool for this.
I've noticed that when a dog comes up and like sniffs my crotch, sometimes the owner, the
will
normal
smile.
thing.
Will smile.
Well, yeah, the normal thing to do if your dog sniffs someone else's crotch, is to call the dog back because that is rude, because you don't allow your dog to go around touching other people.
Right.
But I've noticed more and more dogs are doing this to me, right. And the owner doesn't smile. The owner like gets jealous. Like they're jealous of me and the attention their dog is giving to my crotch.
Yeah. No, I see. Really, is that what you see? Because I see a lot of people that same situation, but they smile. Almost like accepting, there's another one. There's another human that is into this sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But jealousy is interesting. Because the dog has made their choice.
People are afraid of being abandoned. And they get a dog so that they don't have to feel like they're going to be abandoned.
Mm-hmm.
And when they see their dog connect with somebody else, it's usually... if you're an insecure person, it's going to show.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Now, we all deal with abandonment. It's normal. I remember my mother, who, get this, is a Gemini and an identical twin. And my mother and her twin were always dressed the same growing up, and they were the middle children. My grandparents had 4 kids, oldest brother, youngest brother, and these 2 girls. Growing up in the 60s.
Right.
So
the rolling 60s, the rough and tumble 60s.
As what they say, the rolling 60s.
That's right.
Because everyone was on Molly.
Because everyone... That's when they first...
And they were at the roller...
the rink, yeah.
The roller rink.
Rolling on rolling.
Yeah. That's how they came up with it, because all those 60s kids...
It was Molly that inspired roller skating.
Yeah.
A lot of people think it was an easy...
Well, there was this star skater named Molly Gerritsen.
We all know this, yeah.
And
her sister Miley.
And Miley was never had the grace and gift of movement that Molly did. She had the athletic build, but not the grace. Her name should have been Patty.
Oh.
But she ended up being very jealous of Molly, and when she went to college and studied, she became a research assistant at Virginia Tech, where they were working on forms of ecstasy, and they came up with Molly because she got Molly addicted to it, so that Molly would screw up her roller skating career. And Molly died. Molly had a heart attack.
Oh my God.
And her sister took the money and is like in fucking Hawaii somewhere. With her mansion of manservants.
Oh my God.
Who wear nothing but neckties and little collars. Like fake, you know what I'm talking about? Like strippers would wear.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're
Party City.
And they're her butlers.
And is she still alive?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, she comes to Manhattan sometimes because she's obsessed with being in high society.
You don't know her, do you?
Oh, yeah, I've seen her out and about.
Sweet and sour chicken. You know her?
She wears... Yeah, she'll go to parties. She'll wear...
Oh, my God.
She'll wear entirely head to toe sequined dresses that make her look like a giant disco ball floating around the room.
Stop.
Yeah, and she's just obsessed with herself. It's like the woman has figurative testicles dripping down every part of her body.
You see this more and more, yeah. But for her, it sounds like a particularly bad case.
She's an anti-human.
God. That's outstanding. I mean, that is quite the story.
Yeah.
But not a lot of people know about Molly and about drugs and hard drugs. And I think with geography, more people need to be educated in these arenas, because you know how teachers will joke when you're in school, oh yeah, you're gonna be using this one day, pay attention.
Yeah, and it's not wrong.
Well, there's something there to that. Let's actually teach stuff that attention? Will be. No. Let's
pay attention. No.
They're saying it. No, they're saying it's a joke. They're going, okay, what's the object of the sentence? Pay attention, Tom. You're going to be using this one day.
Teachers should be...
Let's actually start teaching stuff that they will use one day, like geography, like hard drugs.
Ky,
people will stop using drugs that way.
This is what is going to happen.
If people know about them.
This is what is going to happen. Teachers will be replaced.
With?
Programs, artificial intelligence. Like, we don't need teachers anymore.
I think that it would be sooner... I think teachers will not be replaced, but they will not teach. They will simply put a helmet on the kid, and the kid will get knowledge.
Oh, I'm sure that will, because people are so corrupt.
Somebody needs to put the helmet on.
No, people are so corrupt. What they want is a room full of little kids.
Yeah.
With helmets on, and the kids are not aware of what's happening to their physical bodies.
Oh, God.
And that is totally what somebody will do.
Well, that wasn't what I was... Yeah, I mean, I could see that happening.
And they'll be like, well, somebody needs to be there to put the helmet on.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's like, yeah, I really need you to put a helmet on my 5-year-old.
I think that when that happens, there'll be a way to transfer...
Consciousness? So
not consciousness, but matter into one person.
So you, like, feed them through their ears? So
you give the kids knowledge, so they think that's something, but then their bodies start to wither. And people on the other side of that, whoever's on the other side of the helmet, will start to grow. And I think that...
Kind of like in Batman Forever?
Kind of, yeah. And we're going to a point now, normal human evolution is pointing toward mass growth. I think the future...
Like bigger people.
Yeah, like, I think like
a world 400 pounds.
A world of giants. No, like taller, bigger.
Oh, yeah.
So I think that a lot of people in the future will be like 25, 30 feet tall. And they'll live like on islands and stuff. And they'll be giants. And I think that that's the future.
Yeah, I mean, that's... So, the kids will be kind of eaten.
And I think that the president will only be selected from giants.
Whoever's the biggest.
Yes.
Whoever's the biggest will rule.
It'll go back to sort of a...
It'll be so much better when it's just that. Like, this whole electing people thing is not working out.
No, but what were you saying about your parent who's a twin? That was interesting.
Oh, yeah. Well, I always knew that she was a twin. Mm-hmm. But I would go over to my aunt's house and watch Twilight Zone and things. Mm-hmm. But I didn't know that my dad was also a secret identical twin.
Your mom was an identical twin, and your dad was an identical twin?
Yeah, but she didn't know either. And so this man would come late at night in the shape of my father, and he would come into the house. And he would set down his briefcase. And we'd be sitting at the dinner table waiting for him to arrive because he's getting home late. And we've been sitting, waiting, staring at our plates. And he's entered and he set his briefcase down. And he reaches up to his head and squeezes and starts to scream in agony as the suit busts open and this monstrosity exits his body through his torso. And we just scream and we start running, and suddenly it erupts into chaos, and my mother is on the computer. She doesn't notice, she doesn't see what's happening, and I try to get her attention, and it's just too late, and I have to go, and I have to leave them all behind to die.
You left your parents to die?
Well, at that point, I don't know who's my parent and who isn't.
So you have parents now? Some semblance of parents?
I've got Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but the
I've got my heavenly Father. I've got
the
my
identical twins.
heavenly mother.
The twins, are they looking after you now? Or do you think of them as your parents? Not looking after you, but do you look after them?
I see them here and there, like whispers in the dark. Late at night, I might go by a quieter part of town, and I feel them watching.
Wow. That is insane.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was part of your past.
Well, I wish that it was part of my past, but they're right behind you.
No, stop.
Don't look. Don't turn.
Stop.
Don't turn around.
We're not going to CGI them in. They're not there. We don't have the CGI budget yet.
That's good. Just keep pretending that they're not there.
Okay. Now, that is insane. So did anyone at any point in that entire scenario know that they were with who they were with? Your dad didn't know that your mom was an identical twin. Your mom didn't know that your dad was.
No, my dad knew that. We all knew that my mom was an identical twin. That's not a secret. They're Geminis.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that detail. That's the smoking gun.
That's how you know that they're really a twin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, let's shift gears a little bit. We are just going to do a long episode here. For today.
Could I get a glass of water?
Yeah, we'll get you a glass of water.
Could I have a glass of water?
We'll get you a glass of water.
Kind sir, would you be so kind as to pour me in a nice iced lemonade?
We're going to get Ian a glass of water. Okay? This is what's going to happen. And we will shut the episode down. For now, this is going to be the end of the free portion. It's going to be an extended free portion as a gift to you guys for the first official episode here. Again, we got picked up by YouTube Network, youtube.com. But we also have a Patreon page, Ky Cravens Show. If you subscribe to the Patreon page, you will be able to see what happens next. So we're going to get some waters. And now that our juices are flowing, we're kind of in the zone now. So you're going to want to see what happens next. We're about to do another half hour here of bonus content just for the Patreon.
Yeah.
And now we're warmed up.
Yeah.
Now the truth is really going to start to seep out of us. And this whole thing is really cathartic for me and Ian, so I appreciate you guys being here for this sort of a roller coaster. But it's a roller coaster that has a safety harness, is up to code, is not breaching any bylaws. So we thank you, and we hope that you do go on the Patreon. I think it's going to be really cheap at first here to kind of hop in. Maybe $1 a month. All we ask. Maybe $5, maybe more, but it will not stay that way.
Yeah, you can give us $1 just for free and you don't get access to shit.
It will not stay that way is my point. Whatever price it's set at now, it will go up. So hop on there now and check out another half hour to 40-minute more content, right? Ian, what do you have to say? Some parting words for the free. These are the cheapskates that just saw.
These are the cheapskates. The only one that you're cheating on is yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want to live in a world where you enjoy the things that you experience. Help us to create that world.
Very well said, and that's going to do it for us here at the Ky Cravens Show. We'll see you on the Patreon.